List of celebrities who have killed people. Believe it or not, several famous people and celebrities have killed other people. Many celebrities were involved in tragic accidents that resulted in deaths, while others committed cold-blooded murder. Watch this video, make sure to like, and subscribe to our channel for any latest video.
Back in the day, it was a single elimination, so this is a lot different than round robin. And you have to, I don't know.
Venus Williams. Tennis star Venus Williams got into a car accident in June 2017, which left one man dead. Williams was driving in Palm Beach Garden, Florida, when she rushed into an intersection, despite not having the right-of-way. The car's driver survived, but her husband, 78-year-old man, was sent to the ICU. He died 2 weeks later.
Olympic decathlon champion and Glamour's Woman of the Year. I hope nobody ever has to go through that in their lives, please. I trained.
Caitlyn Jenner. American television personality, former Olympic gold medal winning athlete. In February 2015, Jenner was involved in a fatal multiple vehicle collision on Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, California. Kim Howe, an animal rights activist and actress, was killed when Jenner's sport utility vehicle ran into Howe's car.
We lost both of them just last year. She died in April, and then he died in the fall. They were married for...
Laura Bush. She was 43rd First Lady of the United States. On November 6, 1963, she ran to another car and killed her friend's 17-year-old friend and classmate Michael Dutton Douglas.
You know, wake up and have to eat, you know. Like nothing is like severely changed in my life, really. But I took a lot more cabs.
Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick is an American actor and singer. On August 5, 1987, he was driving with his girlfriend actress Jennifer Grey when they accidentally hit a car driven by Anna Gallagher and Margaret Doherty, who were both killed.
I've never shied away from being called a liberal, but what I have done is stand up for my beliefs. I had a sit down with my dad. He said...
Ted Kennedy. Senator from Massachusetts. On July 18, 1969, he was driving a car in Chappaquiddick Bridge, and it slipped to the lake, and his deceased brother's Secretary Mary Jo Coach drowned. It has been rumored that Kennedy was drunk during the event.
Time that I've been asked to host Saturday Night Live, and it's quite an honor. Last time I was here, I guess the feeling was that things went pretty well. In fact, the show was nominated for an Emmy.
Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is an American actor, writer, comedian. Alex Baldwin discharged a prop gun that led to the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of the movie Rust in New Mexico on October 21, 2021. Director Joel Souza was wounded. Authorities with the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office said they were investigating the incident and trying to determine what type of projectile was discharged.
I went home with Joe because to the victor goes the spoils. And if I was anticipating going into the ring of promoting boxing, you promote winners, you don't promote losers.
Don King. Boxing promoter Don King killed 2 men in separate incidents. King killed the first man in self-defense when the man was trying to break into his gambling operation. King was convicted of second-degree murder for the second incident, in which he stomped to death an employee who owed him $600.
That's the feeling that I got when I was making it, and that's the feeling I get when I'm playing it. It's a celebration of the sort of music I've enjoyed, and that I
Keith Moon. Keith John Moon was an English drummer for the rock band The Who. On January 4, 1970, he accidentally, while drunk, run over his friend and bodyguard Neil Boland.
I founded the event 18 years ago, and I feel like if I don't show up, then no one will show up. But, you know, I'm here year after year because
Rebecca Gayheart. In 2001, Noxima girl Rebecca Gayheart hit a 9-year-old Jorge Cruz Jr. with her car, and he later died from his injuries. She was convicted of vehicular manslaughter, a charge to which she pled no contest.
A writer can profit from things that may be just unpleasant or boring to someone else because he uses...
William S. Burroughs. Naked Lunch author William shot and killed his wife, Joan Vollmer, in 1951. He was not charged with murder, as the event stemmed from a drunken evening, where the couple was playing a game of William Tell.
I was a kid. And I dreamed of being a pimp like my whole life. Like that was all I seen as a kid was a nigga with his nails done.
Snoop Dogg. In August 1993, rapper Snoop Dogg was arrested for murder of a rival gang member, Philip Boulder Marion. Although Snoop's bodyguard McKinley Lee was the one to do the actual shooting, he was driving the car while McKinley did the shooting.
I was getting my own group together, the Flowers of Romance, and Rotten asked me if I wanted to join there's this big hoo-ha on Malcolm's, it's all a big scene.
Sid Vicious, bassist for the punk rock band Sex Pistols. On October 12, 1978, he stabbed his girlfriend Nancy Spungen to death and was arrested. He died from a heroin overdose before trial could take place.
Really timeless. It's even though it's set in the 1920s, it is just the dancing, the music.
Brandy Norwood, American actress and singer. On December 30, 2006, she struck over and killed a 38-year-old Awada Favuti Hadj, who was also driving another car.
In my opinion, there never was any excuse for this investigation in the first place. This investigation has been...
Howard Hughes, film producer, businessman, and billionaire. On July 11, 1936, he ran over and killed a pedestrian called Gabriel S. Mayer with his car.
I was doing 18 months, I was warden's barber, and I was also inmate counselor. So when an inmate's parent died, the girlfriend broke up, they separated.
Dwayne Dog Chapman, American television personality and bounty hunter. In 1976, Chapman's friend accidentally shot and killed drug dealer Jerry Oliver in an attempt to buy cannabis. Chapman was charged for first-degree murder and was sentenced for 5 years in prison.
I don't know what to do with myself, you know, I'm like meeting with people and like having to be a big boy now and do things on my own and things that I really would never have done before. Like
Vince Neil. Vince Neil is an American musician. In 1984, he was involved in a drunk driving accident in which his passenger, Nicholas Razzle Dingley, was killed. The two individuals in the other car also suffered brain damage. Though Neil was legally drunk at the time of the crash, he was never sent to prison.
So wrong, man. So wrong.
Johnny Louis. In 2012, Sons of Anarchy actor Johnny Louis broke into the home of 81-year-old Catherine David, ransacked her home, and then killed her. He fell or jumped from a roof and died.
For a better finish, I could have hoped for a better finish at Worlds, but I think for spectator sport, you couldn't get any closer than that. You know, 0.02 of a second between 1 and 2.
Oscar Pistorius. Four-time Paralympics gold medal runner and double amputee Oscar Pistorius was convicted of the 2013 murder of his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. The 3 fatal shots were fired through a locked bathroom door, and Pistorius claims that he thought he was firing at an intruder.
No, they were actually the Wayfarers Ray-Bans, which are the classic. They hadn't made them in years. And when John Belushi and Danny...
John Landis, American film director. On July 23, 1982, while directing Twilight Zone the movie in Vietnam, a helicopter accident happened where actor Vic Morrow and 2 child actors were killed. He was charged for manslaughter, but got free.
I'm fascinated in the first place by the medium of films itself. If you'd care to have me go into this, I shall.
John Huston, Academy Award-winning director and actor. On September 25, 1933, before his directing career, he accidentally run over and killed a female pedestrian.
This place is real simple. It's not how you're doing. Yeah. You're alive or you're dead. It's all the stuff in the middle doesn't really...
Robert Blake. In 2001, Robert Blake was charged with the murder of his wife, Bonnie Lee Backley, who was shot to death. He was later acquitted, but he was found liable for wrongful death in a civil lawsuit.
That was a tribute to Ben Wallace, the Detroit Pistons forward. It took me 4.5 hours to get my hair that way. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I worked till 8 o'clock.
Phil Spector. In 2003, Lana Clarkson was found dead from a gunshot wound in Phil Spector's home. He was charged with the murder, and in 2009, Spector was found guilty and sentenced to 19 years to life in prison.
Drugs to make money, you know, make money. I did like certain things in my life, you know, that for right now, at this point in time, that I'm not proud of.
Felicia Pearson, American actress, author, and rapper. When she was a drug dealer at age of 14 in 27 April 1995, she shot and killed a 15-year-old girl, Okia Toomer, and was sentenced second-degree murder for 8 years. She was released 6.5 years later.
Well, Governor Penniless of Texas, he told me loose when he heard the song that I made up about him. So you in the Texas penitentiary too, Leadbelly? Yes, sir, it's 35 years.
Puddy William Ledbetter, American blues and folk musician. In 1918, he got 35 years in prison for murdering his relative. He was released after 2 years.
Youngest of 4 boys, and my parents, they had a rough time with my oldest brother. My oldest brother was in the gangs, in the drugs, and Chicago was pretty much infested with the gangs.
Dwayne Goodrich, former American quarterback for Dallas Cowboys. On January 14, 2003, Goodrich was involved in a hit-and-run in which 2 people were killed. And on January 15, he was arrested on charges for vehicular manslaughter. Goodrich was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison in September 8, 2003, and was released in October 5, 2011.
I speak in prisons all the time, Roland, all over the country, and it's getting more difficult because of the amount of time they're handing.
Charles S. Dutton. Charles Dutton is an American actor. In 1968, he was convicted of manslaughter after stabbing a man in a street fight. He got 7 years in prison.
There's so many people to thank in the making of a picture. I thank the Academy. I thank the producers, Mr. Winkler.
Gig Young. Academy Award-winning actor Gig Young and his wife were both found dead in their home in 1978. After surveying the scene, police reported that Young shot his wife and then killed himself.
I lost my way for a long time. It was a terrible season for me for 10 years. I caused so much pain. But the biggest thing is, not one person died.
Jason Williams, former American basketball player. On February 14, 2002, he was charged for shooting his 55-year-old driver Costas Christofi. He is now free.
I just finished writing this movie called One Heart. It's a football film, and we're gearing up for production on that. And I've got a 3-arc episode on...
Lane Garrison. Lane Garrison is an American actor. On May 21, 2007, he ran over and killed a high school student van session, injuring 2 others. He was drunk and on cocaine. Prison for 40 months on October 31, 2007, and released on April 29, 2009.
I'm not here promoting any projects. I'm just here signing autographs, and it's
Amy Locane. Amy Locane is an American actress. On June 27, 2010, she ran over and killed a 60-year-old woman, Helene Seaman. She was drunk during the incident. On February 14, 2013, she was sentenced for 3 years in prison.
Overreacting to my being at the 3-point line, so just try to mix it up a little bit and take advantage of a smaller defender on me.
J.R. Smith. In 2007, NBA player Smith drove through a stop sign, causing an accident that killed the passenger in his vehicle. After pleading guilty to vehicular manslaughter, Smith was sentenced to 90 days in jail, but only served 30.
Right here in Hollywood and then out in the valley. And a hurricane came in and wiped out my dad's hotel.
Christian Brando, American actor and the son of Marlon Brando. On May 16, 1990, Brando, who was drunk at the time, fatally shot Dag Drolet, the boyfriend of his half-sister Cheyenne, who was 8 months pregnant during that time. Brando pleaded guilty to manslaughter and served 5 years in prison, during when Shane committed suicide after losing the custody for her son.
Didn't commit first-degree murder. There was no premeditated anything. I don't...
Michael Jace, American actor. On May 19, 2014, he called 911 and said, "I shot my wife." And when the police arrived, they found Jace's wife April shot to death. The police took Jace into custody and later confessed killing her.
It's one of those things that you sit and be like, man, if I could turn back the time, I would. But it's like,
Skylar Dillian. American one-time child actor Skylar Dillian was convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder for the murders of Tom and Jackie Hawks. In 2004, he convinced the couple to take him on a test cruise on their yacht, which he pretended to want to buy. While at sea, he tied them to the anchor and pushed them overboard, still alive. He was also convicted of the 2003 murder of John Jarvie. Dillian was sentenced to death in 2008.